If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Extra bonus content. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether we enjoy it, don't like it, want to be good at it, bad at it, get fired, promoted, upgraded, far end of the bench post-game show following Game 4 of the Nuggets and Lakers series. The Lakers do get a victory, and it will go past 4 games. We're going to head back to Denver now with the Nuggets up 3-1. But Nico, we mentioned it a little bit. If you follow us at FEOTB Pod, which everybody should, you know that Nico's probably not going to be too excited about this result. Let's go ahead and let's not mince words. I feel like you texted me. Let's get this done, over with, and then we can move on as quickly as possible to Monday night with Game 5.
Let me start with the bad, because obviously people are saying I have shitty takes, and it's very, very funny because I realize the moments of things and different things, and I'll get to the positives and how this series has gone in here in a second. But the negatives is you've been losing for 145 minutes of the series, and you're up 3-1. Not many teams are able to do that. And it finally came up to bite you in the ass. The Nuggets trailed every second of today's game. Lakers scored the first bucket and then did not lose the lead the entire game. You only have 8 points from your bench. You have Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson, and Peyton Watson struggling from the field to get anything going in those non-Jokic minutes. MPJ kept you in the game. Jamal was hot and cold, and obviously you still have an MVP performance from Jokic, which you cannot say anything bad about him. But it was a game that we didn't have any right of winning. And as a Nuggets fan and a guy that hates the Lakers, like I can't stand watching that because I hate that team. I would have loved to win by 12. I would have loved to win 12 straight. I would have loved to sweep these guys, move on to the next one, get ready for Minnesota. But and this is where the positive side of this for me is, you've played 4 terrible games. We played 4 terrible games. You're up 3-1. Plain and simple. You did what you were supposed to do as the road team, and the team that hosts the series. You won a game on the road. Plain and simple. You won a game on the road, so that way LA has to come into your barn, a place that has not lost a ball game yet in this playoffs, 3-0 now, hopefully 4-0 after tomorrow night in the Avs, and you have that opportunity to seal the game too. And like I said, winning. Look, we're as a fan base, we're being very greedy. We are totally forgetting that LeBron is still one of the best players of all time. Maybe he's not number 1, but he's still one of the best players of all time, and there's zero denying that. Anthony Davis has probably had his best playoff series of his career this series. He has been absolutely incredible up and down, and the Lakers did all the right things and did not give up a lead. It's going into Game 4. It's going to be very, very important to obviously get a lead and protect home court. That's what the Nuggets need to take ownership in, plain and simple. Because, like I said, you stole a game in LA, and that's an important thing to look at. That Game 3 was a big indictment of that second half, was a big indictment of how this team needs to play from this very, very start. You need to play hot to start. You need to get to lead. You need to punish AD and punish the lesser well-known defenders in the D'Los, in the Austin Reeves, and attack them offensively while making sure you do not allow layup after layup, because I saw way too many layups in the first half. That's just and like I said, Jokic is an all-world player. He's an all-world player, and it's very, very unfortunate that the Nuggets right now are playing like, hey, please save us. Because that's what got us in trouble 3 years ago. It's what got us in trouble 2 years ago. And last year we didn't have that problem because we had everyone playing all the way through. Entire bench was playing well. And if you just say, "Hey, 15, help us out," it's going to have games like tonight. And like I said, I'm not angry. The world has not fallen. I'm not going to sit here and cry my eyes out and lose my mind. I'm disappointed. I absolutely am disappointed, but I realize there's a very, very good opportunity to still finish this series in a gentleman's sweep. There was a very, very good opportunity because, like I said, you did what you needed to do. If we lost 2 games, then we'd be having a much different conversation. But you did have that big second half performance in Game 3, so this game is a little bit lighter. But like I said, Game 5 is a must-win now because the last thing, like I said, you gave them life. There's even a little bit left. It may not have been much life, but that was a dead walking corpse that you just breathed another 24 hours into. That's the thing. You breathe an extra, not technically it's 24, 48 hours into. You breathe an extra 48 hours into that building, into that team's life when you could have finished it right there and let them clean their lockers out tomorrow morning. But you didn't, and now you have to come back home and hopefully change things the way to go. Like I said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. It would have been nice to win 4 in a row. It would have been nice. It would have been cool. And I hate losing that team more than anybody. But the bigger scheme of things, I would much rather see a Game 5 performance at home where it's a full team performance because we have not seen that yet. We have not seen that yet, and that's the important thing. Is like now the Game 5 is not it's must win in my opinion. It's a must win in my opinion, but it's even more important to get a full entire team performance where the bench is producing. Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson, Peyton Montague in the mix. MPJ has been lights out. AG was great defensively tonight, not very good offensively.
7 points.
I want a full team effort this week on Monday night. Tonight was just not it. And you saw that the Lakers obviously bench unit was much better tonight. Dinwiddie was good. Torian Prince obviously has been their best bench player thus far. But now you have a chance to come back home and seal a victory. The worst part in all this, Jimmy, I have to deal with listening to fuckers think that LeBron's going to be the first person to come down for 3. That's the worst part. That's really the worst part about all this because I have zero. And like I said, we'll have this conversation after Game 5 of what happens and everything. But it's a disappointment today. But my thoughts and how this team is going to predict and go forward has not wavered in the slightest. It's just an extra game that we have less rest.
I'm a little bit more optimistic, I would say, actually, just because I feel like this. Maybe I'll feel differently after I go back, and I'm going to go back through the highlights. It's recorded on my YouTube TV, so I can go back and watch as many times as I need to. But what I'm anticipating seeing is this was the Lakers' best shot because of think about the amount of embarrassment LeBron would have to deal with if he got swept by the same team back-to-back years in the final years of his career. So I feel like this was just the very final last push. Everything that they had, I feel like now the next game is going to – they're not going to have another performance like that. As I'm looking through, I'm just going through the box score. Obviously, not pretty on the Nuggets side of things. But then if you go to the Lakers, AD had 25, LeBron had 30, D'Lo and Austin Reeves both had 21. I don't count on those guys having 21 more than a game. Maybe one more. Maybe the next time they go back to Los Angeles after that, they'll play better. But that's the whole story about why it's important to win games on the road because role players play better at home. So if your role players are playing good at home, but they can't do jack on the road, gladly come back to the Mile High City. Come on. I want it. Bring the knife. I want you to bring the knife so that I have the ability to justify this as it's self-defense homicide because that's what the Lakers deserve.
And like I said, this game top to bottom was just we really never felt like we had a chance this game. We would make little 2, 3-point comebacks like where we get it down to 8, get down to 7, and then they get right back to 10. And Darvin Ham, I'll give him his credit. He called timeouts perfectly in certain use. Obviously, he's more 100% gone because LeBron wanted to fire him on the spot when he didn't challenge one of the calls in the fourth quarter. But the worst part about this is not because of what the Lakers did. It's because of what else is going on in the West. And like the Lakers are the first stop. If the Nuggets lose on Monday night, we'll have a different conversation. But why this was such a big game was because what Minnesota is doing to Phoenix. Phoenix is chump change right now. They're over. That series is done. It's 3-0. It's over. If Phoenix needs to try to pull off a win tomorrow night and have a little bit of pride, which I know they don't, because they've lost by 20 points in back-to-back games, closeout games at their home arena. So I know they don't have that. So I hope that they can somehow pull it out of their ass and get a little bit of pride to extend that game one more game or series one more game. But man, it's unfortunate because, like I said, you would have loved to see a little bit of breather, get a little healthier, get guys some more confidence. But like I said, you haven't played a good series, and maybe it's better that we get another game. Maybe it's better to get another game and get guys some more touches and better looks and get them more in the flow and more of what's expected. Because last year when we talked about the Avs, like there were so many guys on that roster that just had no idea what they were supposed to do, and they were just looking to McCann, looking to Kale and Miko to bail them out. Obviously, the first 2 games, it feels like Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson have not, especially that bench unit, have been looking to MPJ, Jamal, Jokic to bail them out every time. And it's a plus minus that is just brutal after every game. It's holding your breath when 15 comes off the floor. And when 15 is on the floor, the defense adjustments they made tonight were very, very good, but the Nuggets will make offense adjustments that I know will be better. Plain and simple. I will have zero doubts about offensively, but the defensive adjustments that the Nuggets need to make needs to be very, very much better because I saw way too many layups, way too many free, easy shots. Obviously, they had more production from the guys that they haven't in the first 3 games, but like I said, it's disappointment. It's not upset. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm just disappointed. That's all. And it's not a disappointment like, I'm disappointing you. And the old coaching saying like, I'm disappointing you and like, you're never going to overcome this. It's different. It's much different. It's much different.
I feel like the Nuggets are in Sunday school getting scolded right now. I'm not mad at anybody in this room. I'm just disappointed. Oh no, that's worse. Oh, that's so much worse. It's unfortunate, but this is the way things got to go. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I learned from the last 2 years. And one thing that I tried to take away, because we mentioned it a few times, and every now and again, it's easy to forget. Those runs that we've just experienced with the Nuggets and Avalanche are such outliers in how easy and how stress-free every single playoff series was. And still, think about it this year, Nico. If we look at both teams collectively, we are 5-2.
We've lost 2 games.
We are 5-2. We are doing we're fine. It's supposed to work out however it's going to work out. So if that means that we go 7 in every single series, but we continue to move on, then I guess that's what we all got to deal with.
Jimmy and
I've been jumping rope because my heart wouldn't be able to take it otherwise.
We will lose years of off our lives if they continue doing this. But yeah, I cannot echo.
It's just got to be the way that it has to be. That's. I felt the same way like when we were at the Avalanche game last night, and standing in line for the bathroom, and everybody's being so negative. Like, dude, why make yourself miserable along the way? Because 2 years ago was awesome, and yes, last year was very disappointing, but I feel like we made last year so much worse on ourselves.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Like we put all this extra stress and pressure on it, and we wanted, we need to beat our record, we need to race ourselves to the cup. No, you don't. Just get back there. Try and get back there. That's it. It's just a game. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Basketball.
And I think back to how Tampa Bay Lightning went back to back. It was like they struggled their way to the cup, second cup. It was not the first cup run was, and they were a much better team in 2019 when they lost the first round. They struggled their way there, but they were able to repeat, and they did it off the backs of having guys step up, plain and simple. And I said, I expect a better performance from everybody, and that's the thing is this team expects a better performance from everybody, and that's the biggest thing is, man, when you look at this lineup, and like I said, the Lakers are not better than this team. I don't care what anyone says after 4 games. I don't care that they're up by 40. Well, they're winning by 140 minutes. The Nuggets are not the worst team here. Plain and simple, they're not the worst team. The Nuggets have beat themselves. And they beat themselves tonight, and the reason why they're losing those first games is because they're lazy defensively, and they're taking dumb shots and not getting the ball into the guys' hands that should have the ball in their hands. When Michael Porter Jr. is streaking and getting hot in the second quarter, I do not need Justin Holiday hucking up 3 threes in 3 out of 4 possessions. I really cannot have that happening. And little things like that you're like, man, that could have been a little bit of momentum that get us back in this game, or that would have gave us life, and may not be a big grand scheme of things, but second quarter, who the fuck cares? Second quarter, if you get the game back to tied or with a lead, heck, say in the second quarter, that's a major difference. It's a major difference. People have to buy in, take the shots where you need to do. That's the thing that Jeff Green and Bruce Brown did perfectly. They did not force shots. They did not force possessions where they needed the ball. Reggie Jackson, Justin Holiday, Peyton Watson seem to be doing that. And that's obviously playoff experience because Jeff Green has that playoff experience. Bruce B didn't last year, but Pete Watson's first year in the playoffs. Reggie Jackson has a few years of experience, but off the bench, not getting many minutes. Justin Holiday was not getting any minutes in the regular season last year on a team. Like it is brand new guys that you need to get up to speed, plain and simple. And obviously, with the best starting 5 in basketball, you have to hope for that you do not when you start making substitutions and the second group starts coming in, that you cannot just it is not a setback. It is a lockstep of how you want to play basketball. It's not going to be better than obviously the first unit. Everyone knows that, but it needs to be lockstep of what's expected. And thus far, when the second group comes in, and right, I want to say around the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, and tonight, and the first couple of games is when we saw that close game where they're trading buckets and everything. It started to go, Lakers get a lead, 10-point lead, 8-point lead, 8 to 10-point lead. And like I said, that's where the second unit comes in. And like I said, we talk about non-Jokic minutes. It's even more important when guys are on the floor with Jokic to know their role. And when you're on the floor with Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray that are as hot as they were, you do not take the fucking dumb shots. Plain and simple. You do the dirty things. You get the rebounds. You play good hard defense. You do not take huck up threes, fadeaway threes, contested threes. It's plain and simple. It's just unacceptable.
We're quickly not moving on from the game, but just before we move on to the next topic, wanted to bring this up again since we learned how to do it. There we go. Be sure to check out our merch store. We have both playoff shirts. So we have Avalanche, we have the MVP shirt, and the Nugget shirt will be getting in there. But this is the Variety Sports Network merch store. If you have not seen it yet, be sure to go check it out. We have our Bengals shirts. We have our guys over at Fat Boy Fadeaway, Seventh Inning Stretch. If you're looking for baseball content, because we don't provide it for you, there's a ton of different things there. Plus, we have those old Ride or Die T-shirts. I'm not going to bring it up because this is already going to be a difficult enough of an episode without doing that. But yes, we do have our merch store, so be sure to check it out. I'll put the link up on the screen. My next question, and then we can kind of get more into predicting what Game 5 is going to look like. You will be back in attendance, I'm assuming, since it'll be back in Denver here. But is there any possibility that the reason why the Avalanche looked the way, or the Nuggets, not the Avalanche, the Nuggets looked the way that they did was because they didn't have their shoes to warm up in? Or was that?
I'm not going to take any ownership in that. I don't think that had to do with anything.
It's just the
for whatever
the
reason
story
Lakers
that ended up coming out.
For whatever reason, the Lakers fans took it as the Nuggets disrespecting them when the team bus was stuck in that shitty ass LA traffic like LA has and only California has. If you live in LA, you know what I'm talking about, and live in California, you know what I'm talking about. So obviously, you got stuck and the guys need to warm up, need to get things going, and they wear sandals to the game. What are they going to do? Wear their Versace fucking kicks on the floor to warm up? That's not going to happen. You just throw slides on and you just go from there. They're not going through a crazy workout. They're getting shots of getting warmed up. It's not a fucking story, so calm down. I'm sure ESPN will swindle it into being a story, but whatever. And look, this Game 3, and I'll do a little prediction here, is like I want to see that first unit, the Christian Brown, Peyton Watson second group, when they sub off Jamal and when they sub off, I believe it's MPJ is the second person off. I want to see a lot of energy because I saw tonight that LA building seemed dead silent. I'll be honest with you. First half, it seemed dead silent. There was no energy at all. It seemed like it was a regular season game and just going through the motions. I cannot have that again. I expect the energy at Ball Arena to be much higher on Monday night, and obviously the starting lineup is going to come in hot. But I expect the second unit to bring energy. That's the biggest thing, is bring energy. Because if you're coming out there and just being an extra guy on the court off the bench, you're doing no justice. Plain and simple. You're doing no justice. We don't need you to be Jamal or MPJ or Jokic. We need you to produce, and when you're asked to play on the court, be ready to go. Plain and simple. And they have not been ready to go. They have not been ready to go the first 3 games, and it's taken Jokic and Jamal and MPJ and AG on Game 3 to get this team back into games where they had probably had no right in winning either. So, like I said, up 3-1. World's not falling over. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and you gave a team a little bit of life. It's not a lot of life, and I got called out for whatever reason saying we gave a team life. Yeah, I get it's a 3-1 series, but you did give a team life because they were dead. They were dead in the water. It was a dead corpse that you just breathed 48 hours into. That's literally what you did, unfortunately, and you gave them life. And it's like I said, the last thing you can do is lose Game 5 because that's we are in trouble. We will be in trouble because, like I said. Conversations start after one game. This is not Minnesota from last year Same exact thing that happened last year in the first round. We won the first 3 games, lost game 4 in Minnesota, and then came back and whooped their ass in game 5. I would love to see a repeat of that. But this is LeBron fucking James. One of the best players of all time. You have Anthony Davis, a guy that's been around for a very long time and been very, very good at what he's done. You have role players that have stepped up for them. You need to walk into game 5 with a good attitude and a fuck you attitude, being like, we are not letting this continue. We have played a piss poor 4 games, and we're lucky to be up 3-1 right now. We need to take that to our advantage, not play with our food, and finish them off at home.
It's all about not being a freeloader, not being a guy that just rides along. Do your job. Don't do more than what we ask of you. Force them to get out of their game. Like, do what we talked about but I am a little bit happy that this is the way things are going, because I feel better about having to win in a gentleman's sweep where you can't close things out being lucky. Like, winning 4 lucky games in a sweep is okay. Yeah. It feels good, but that leaves a whole lot more issues. Yeah. Let's figure some of this shit out. Like, I'm sure that's not going to be everything that we need to figure out, but let's actually play a full 4 quarters of basketball. Let's be that team that's attention to detail, that doesn't let these other teams that get lapses of focus. Let's make sure that we step on their throat, sink our shots, defensive rebounds, box out, play. It's really simple. Like basketball, all sports, when you get to the postseason, gets really simple. You have to control what you can control, do the things that you can do, and then that's legitimately all that you have control over. Like, make your shots, rebound the basketball. That's it. Don't make stupid fouls. Don't make dumb things happen.
Absolutely. And like I said, going into game 5, it's going to be even more vital to get off to a hot start. And we have not seen a hot start yet. And that's big to me. That's going to be very big to me to honestly punch them in the mouth and not think that they have a chance. Because like I said, they won this game and they handled us most of the game, and there was a lot of bad plays offensively and defensively. Nuggets just made mistakes on that LA was very, very easy to capitalize on. The last thing you need to do is come out the first quarter and lay a fucking egg, because you lay an egg, it's going to turn the entire series around. It's going to be a lot more difficult to come back from a 10-point deficit in the third quarter again if you don't show up hot in the first quarter or first half. I expect Mike Malone to get the one going quicker, figure something out where guys are ready and bench guys are more ready. I expect that, and like I said, I hope to see it, because like I said, I hate losing this team. I hate losing that team. This like I said, it's disappointing. I have a positive outlook. I try to get a positive outlook on a lot of things. I like having a positive outlook, but it sucks losing that team. Plain and simple, it just does. And like I said, you've beat them now 11 out of the last 12 times, and on Monday night you need to make it 12 out of the last 13.
Anything else that you want to mention before we wrap things up? I'm going to throw the merch link up there again as well, but I'll let you give your final thoughts. What's the thing that you want to send people out?
The last thing I'll say is, like, I would expect this bench to shorten very quickly. I don't know if it's going to be game 5. I don't know if it's going to be going into the next series, whoever it may be we play against, if we do make it that far. I expect the bench to shorten, and I don't know if it's going to be Reggie Jackson getting minutes. I don't know if it's going to be Peyton Watson getting minutes. I know Christian Brown's going to get minutes because that man hustles his ass off. So that's the only confirmation I have from the bench. I would not be surprised if you saw Mike Malone try a couple of different dudes to try to get some energy. Maybe a Zeke Naji, try to give him a little big energy, and give AG not the burden of having to guard AD and the non-Jokic minutes. Maybe give him another big out there where they can double team him in the post and force Rui to get some buckets. I would love to see Zeke a couple of minutes. I would love to see, I'm not going to go as far as say Julian Strawther all the way down the bench, but if you need offense production for your bench, you need some shooting. It would not hurt to give that kid a shot and give the kid a chance. So I just want to see what adjustments, because like I said, Mike Malone said there hasn't been many adjustments made, and he hasn't really had to. And obviously they need to. We need to. Plain and simple. We have to. You go with a full series without making adjustments, you're doing yourself and your team a disservice. So, and I'm not calling Michael Malone out. He's a fantastic coach. And tonight he did one bad thing, and that was try to get a call reverse on a challenge, and he lost his challenge in the second quarter. In reality, it didn't matter because the final score was what it was. But like I said, things like that even the smaller coaching staff and the assistants and everything need to figure things out. Be like, hey, can't do this, can't force that, just let it go while you're trying to begin the heat of things while things are going on. So, like I said, you look disappointed, not upset. You won one game on the road. That was what I expected. That's what I expected. I said winning 4 in a row or 8 in a row against LeBron in the playoffs is unheard of. It's unheard of. I'm serious. It is unheard of, and no one has ever done that. And being, like I said, being a greedy is going to be our downfall. If Game 3 and Game 4 were reversed, and we had that great end to Game 4, I'd be sitting here a lot happier, and Game 3 would be a lot worse, right? Because the energy that you had to finish that Game 3 was so important, and then in Game 4 you just were so flat. But with how flat you were, I just expect a better performance from Game 5 and more energy. That's what I think, more energy. Because, like I said, I saw dullness. I saw guys holding their heads and just feeling sorry for themselves out there, just doing nothing but getting conditioning. We cannot have that if we want to go back to back.
It's not a situation where you can kind of just sit around. You got to be able to actively take ownership. You have to actively seek out doing the right things. And that's, this team figured it out last year. I'm sure Mike Malone is going to be able to figure it out once again. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I have it up there now, but make sure you join us tomorrow following the Avalanche Game 4. We'll be live again. That'll be day 9 in a row. Day 9 in a row of content. Hopefully everybody enjoys. We talked about it yesterday. We gave everybody a huge shout out. Not going to put it up there again because we don't need to scratch our backs anymore, but check out the Feed Spot blog where they rank the top 30 sports podcasters. You might find a couple of familiar faces alongside some of the other great people that we have around here in Colorado in the media world. Last time, be sure to check out our merch store for the Variety Sports Network. All of our shows, plus you get these 2 beautiful playoff t-shirts, which if you follow us on our TikTok or anything else on social media at FEOTB Pod, you saw I picked mine up. They have a whole bunch of different colors. You can choose your color. And then some of the sizes go quite large. So if you're one of our bigger bench warmers, they got up to 4X. If you're a small guy, if you're trying to lose some weight, they go down to extra small. Plus, they got the Variety Sports Network, Bad Boy Fadeaway, 7th Inning Stretch. Let's see. It's 5-hole, Talking the Gridiron, Double, Ohio Sports Talk Radio. What else can I – what other names can I drop? Is there any other way that we can make as many name drops as possible? I don't think so, so I'm just going to take that away from me. There's a good episode. I know that it's a tough result, but I feel like it's good to have these shows, because I could see, like, as the years have gone on, the shows have gotten a lot better, but, like, we've gotten a lot better as people. Because when the show started, I almost lost it. I had a nuclear meltdown when the Avalanche lost to the Dallas Stars. Now, I mean, we're not happy about it, but the Nuggets lose to the Lakers, and we can do an entire 30-minute show. And we didn't. I think we maybe cursed once or twice.
I definitely curse more than that, but yeah, like I said, we've turned into media journalists, and we've turned into things covering things, and we realize, you know what, like. We won 2 championships in the last 2 calendar years. Not many cities can say that, and there's only a handful that have ever been able to do that in the same time span. So I'm going to enjoy it, and like I said, it's important to be happy with the occasion you have, because the last thing I want as a Bronco or as a Nugget fan, as a Avalanche fan, and something I'm learning as a Bronco fan, unfortunately, is like, don't take it for granted. Don't be pissed off all the time. Like you gotta be very, very, you gotta enjoy the ride. But yeah, I know it's nice. It's very, very nice. They earned that one tonight, Darren. They did earn that one tonight. We'll give them that one, but hopefully we can knock them out Game 5.
Got to be fair sometimes. All right, we're gonna send everybody off. We'll be back tomorrow after the Avalanche game, afternoon game. So I believe it's at 12:30. We'll probably be on right around dinner time ish, around 5 o'clock. Whenever the game is over, we'll let everybody know. We'll be talking everything Avalanche hockey. Unfortunate end for the Nuggets tonight, but we'll bounce back. Game 5 Monday night in Denver. For myself, Jimmy Pilato, my co-host Nico Bryant, bonus playoff post-game show for the Denver Nuggets. Thank you guys for tuning in. The Nuggets lose Game 3, go up. Series is 3-1.
We finally got a moral victory.
There we go.
Finally got a moral victory.
Moral victory.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.